A light glow shines onto my eyes, waking me up. I tied my eyes before finally opening them. I extend my arm to grab my phone and bring it to my face. Saturday, 9:42 a.m. Ugh. I look out the window. There appears to be some heavy cloud formations forming. Perhaps a storm is coming. I climb out of bed and start my day. I flop down into my living room couch. For a while, I just sit in the serenity of my empty house. Always empty. Huh? I bring my phone to my field of view. It's Yuri. Is the kid stood heading towards your house? I type out a response. Yeah, that's fine. My arm falls limp again and I sit lifeless on my couch. I feel so bored today. Hopefully Yuri shows up soon to save me from this void that is my living room. For the next 20 minutes, I just sit on my couch staring at the ceiling. Suddenly I hear a bell. That must be Yuri. I heave myself up from the couch and make my way to the door. I gently open the door. Yuri appears on the other side. Hey, what's up? Good afternoon, John. Are you ready to go? Let me make sure I got my wallet. I slap my eyes as hard as I can. Yeah, I got everything. Let's go. You and I step outside and head towards the psychiatrist's office. Oof. Hello, you two. Welcome back. He speaks in his usual upbeat tone. Not exactly the kind of voice you'd imagine a psychiatrist to have. Depends on the psychiatrist, I guess. I shake his hand like always. He then offers his hand to Yuri and they shake as well. Well, shall we get started then? He gently opens the door to his office and gestures for us to step inside. We walk over to the couch and take our seats. Naturally, Dr. Langton sits in the chair opposite to us. So, as you know, this is simply a checkup. I just want to make sure the medication is working, everything is fine, etc. Okay. Yuri fidgets in her seat. That's odd. After all this time, I figured she'd be used to Dr. Langton by now. I guess we should start with the most blatant question. Have you been self-harming at all, Yuri? She shakes her head. No. That's good. Even with medication, I'm pretty sure it's not that simple. He scribbles in his notebook. And I believe school has started back up again, is that correct? Yuri nods. Yes. And how was the first week back? It was fine. He continues to stare at Yuri. Just fine? Yes. Something feels off here. Even with the exception of Yuri being an introvert, her one-word replies seem unnatural. It's like she's forcing the words out. Dr. Langton has leaned over his knees, examining Yuri. After a short time, he leans back into his chair. He looks down at his notes, readjusts his glasses, then looks back up at Yuri. Are the kids at school treating you okay, Yuri? What do you mean? I'm just asking how the students behave. Are they nice, cheerful? Are you making friends? That kind of stuff. They're okay. Dr. Langton stares at Yuri for a few more seconds before finally writing into his notepad. Is Yuri not going to bring up the group of boys? Maybe it's not important. Or maybe it is. Yuri is acting weird, even by Yuri's standards. But is it really my place to say anything? I am just a bystander in their meetings, after all. But I feel it's the doctor's right to know. I have to speak up. Hello? There's not an option, okay. Hopefully Yuri doesn't resent me for bringing this up. Well, there was this one interaction yesterday. Oh. He leans onto the edge of a seat. Yuri jerks her gaze onto me. There's fear in her face. Maybe I should have brought it up. Too late to go back on it now though, as I've already opened the can of worms. It wasn't anything really. Just a group of immature boys shouting obscenities. Dr. Len softly bites down on the tip of his pen. After a short period of thinking, he finally says something. And how did it make you feel, Yuri? I catch a glimpse of her hands trembling. She presses them into her lap in an attempt to cover it up. You can be honest with me. I won't judge or think any less of you. Okay. I was angry, embarrassed, sad. There were so many emotions at once. It was like a .9 earthquake came and shook the very fabric of my soul. And then several, equally as powerful aftershocks hit me right after. Yuri takes a moment to collect her thoughts. The doctor remains silent as well, although the doctor has infected me. But then John acted. He got us out of this horrendous situation. And I'm very thankful for that. She clenches my hand and gives me a soft smile. Well, Dr. Langton scans over his notes. That's good to hear. I understand school can be a challenge, and I know kids can often be brutal at times, but I think as long as you two have each other, there's nothing that will hold you back. He gives us both a huge, almost cartoon-like smile. Anyway, I'm moving on. How's your prescription holding up? If I recall correctly, you should be requiring a new order soon, correct? He flips through some papers on his desk to reassure himself. Correct. Well, the pharmacy already has the files, so you can go to your own time. Moving his arm up in a large motion, he not so casually checks his watch. Well, he then clasps his hands together. I think that's all we have for today. Any questions? You and I exchange glances. No, I think we're good. Wonderful. Feel free to contact me on when you want to schedule your next appointment. With that, he begins to shuffle us out of his office. We arrive at Yuri's house. Well, that went fairly well, I'd say. What do you think, Yuri? Yuri okay? She's been acting weird recently. Or weirder than usual in any case. I'm fine. Fine. Whenever a girl says that, usually things are the complete opposite of fine. Oh god, shut your fucking ass. Sorry, but those things trigger me, honestly. I subconsciously begin to take steps forward towards her. But Yuri begins to back away like an animal caught in a cage. However, she only backs away so far and I find myself inches from her. Yuri is only a little shorter than me, allowing us to maintain eye contact fairly easily. Even with that, she refuses to look me in the eyes. She begins to slowly open her mouth. I breathe, Yuri. Take a moment to collect your thoughts. Something she's done time and time again. Finally, she speaks up. I'm going to drop out of school. What? Drop out? She can't actually be serious. Okay, time out, rewind. You're what? There's a tinge of annoyance in my voice. This is why I didn't want to tell you. I knew you would be upset. Wait, how long have you been keeping this from me? For a while now. I feel disappointed and also a bit furious. The thought of Yuri hiding such a big decision from me hurts. Why are you just now telling me? I didn't want you to worry. Yuri, all I do is worry about you. A contorted expression grows on her face as if she just saw me kick a puppy. I didn't realize it was such a burden to you. Someone you always have to think about and worry about. That's not what I meant. I'd hate to be a burden to you, John. I didn't say that! I guess I'm just not capable of looking after myself. After all, I'm just the girl with scars along her arms. The girl with no friends other than words on her page. I'm useless! No, you're not. Then explain why you feel the need to spectate my life every waking moment of the day. Don't get upset at me for the secrets you've been hiding. Look, now we're getting off topic. Back to my point. You can't drop out of school. Why not? You just can't. That's not your decision to make. Regardless, it's still a bad decision. You just don't understand. That's the problem. You never tell me. Okay, answer me this. Why do you want to drop out? Your grades are exceptional. It has nothing to do with my grades. Is it because of the boys yesterday? I told you not to worry about them. My voice grows more irritated with each sentence. It's not just that. It's... What is it? I can't say. No, we're not keeping any more secrets from each other. Tell me what's wrong. I don't want to talk about it. No. I've worked so hard to get close to her, and once again she's shutting me back out. Damn it, Yuri! My thoughts are cloudy. I don't know what to do. If I let her shut herself in, she may never come back out. Just tell me what's bothering you. I can't. I feel my bloodstream heating up. Please stop resisting my help. Please don't do this. Do what? Help you. Listen to you. Actually take the time to find a medical professional to treat you and all your problems. Everything I do, Yuri, it's all for you. Yuri just shakes her head while trying to hold back tears. I didn't want this. You didn't want this. Of course, Yuri. How could I forget? I'm just the guy who chased you down, barged into your house, and forced his way into your life unwanted. It's not like that. Then what is it like? I don't know. Please just stop saying that. Sure, you have to know something. This is going nowhere. My hands are shaking as if I drank a liter of an energy drink. I can feel the steam rising out of my ears. The steam. I have to keep pressing forth. This is what she did when I first found her cutting her wrist. She pushed me away as far as she could. I can't let her ruin her life. I catch a glimpse of myself in the window. My inverse reflection stares back at me. What I see disgusts me. Here I am, yelling at the girl I thought I loved. John. Yuri's voice snaps me out of my daze. She's no longer yelling. In fact, her voice is so quiet it's barely audible. I don't want to see us like this. I love you. Love. I've heard that word so many times the past 7 months. I've heard it come from Yuri's lips, my lips, my best friend's lips. After it's been said so much it's lost our meaning. If you really loved me, you would tell me what's wrong. If you trusted me, you would give me time. I don't know who to trust anymore. I can taste the venom dripping from my teeth. It's bitter, yet satisfying to feel spit out of my mouth. A tear glides down not Yuri's face. All the memories we made, the stories we shared, the time we spent. I guess even hot love has a cold end. I look her straight in her eyes. The windows to the soul, as she put it. I suppose they're just bittersweet memories at this point. I feel like a failure. After everything I've done, you still don't trust me. Yuri's retracted body only makes me feel worse. It pains me to see her like this. So why can't I stop? Now it's my turn for my voice to be barely audible. Why don't you like anyone? You didn't see the messages. What messages? What messages? The ones that everyone saw. I think to myself, last week, the boy in class who stifled a laugh at a long message. The 2 loud girls in my class. They were talking about someone in some text message. What was in the messages though? I have to know. I look back at Yuri. She looks lifeless. But I have to make a choice. I would not want to press the topic. And if it's about the text messages, I'm sure you can find out some other way too anyway, if you really need to find that out. But I feel like she needs a little bit of space right now. I can't carry on. She refuses to let me in. She created a wall around herself that I'm not strong enough to tear down. For the second time in the recent months, I felt completely useless. If only there was a word to describe the emptiness I feel right now. I can't do this anymore. What do you mean? It's like glass, Yuri. Sometimes it's better to leave it broken than to hurt myself trying to pick it up. Yuri is taken aback for my statement. Her eyes begin to fill like waterfalls. But tears don't fall. They crash. Go away. What? Go away, John. Her voice is still barely audible, but there's force behind her statement. So this is how you want it to be. Please. Just go. I don't say anything after that. There's nothing left to say. I stare at her for a bit longer. I take in her long purple hair, her woman-like body, and her lavender eyes. Her lavender eyes, that even red with tears, still pierce straight to my soul. I turn on my heel and leave her house. Let's see if it's any better if we press. Yuri, you have to tell me what's in those messages. I can't. Damn it, Yuri, you're not helping me. For every one of my attempts to get closer, she still pushes me away. This is bullshit! How can I help you if you don't tell me what's wrong? What could be in those messages that would make Yuri want to drop out? Do you regret falling in love with me, John? The question comes out of nowhere, but I still form an answer. No. I regret believing that you had fallen for me. Yuri's taking it back for my statement. Well, in either case is how I feel like it could have went with someone who is in a more stable position. Because someone in a more stable position might have handled both choices better. But I'm gonna stick with the not pressing. For once, it's not the morning sunshine that wakes me up. This time I'm shocked awake by the sound of crashing thunder. There's a storm screaming outside. Without the sun, I have no idea whether it's morning or afternoon. Check my phone. 10:24 a.m. It's a bit late, but not too bad. I climb out of bed as the rain continues to pour. I sit down on the couch. Resting my elbows on my knees, I press my face into my palms. What did I do yesterday? I yelled at Yuri for no reason. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I smacked my forehead repeatedly. I got up. Sorry. I was looking at my headphones because it was too loud suddenly. I got upset and allowed my emotions to get the better of me. This is my fault. I feel like my insides are being pricked by needles. I really am a failure, huh? There has to be something I can do. I need to apologize to her. Lightning continues to strike outside. I look outside my living room window. It shows no sign of stopping either. The rumbling continues to shake the ground. Flashes of white fill the glass screen. I run back upstairs. Throwing open my closet door, I grab my raincoat. I'm going to apologize to Yuri in person. Dripping it on, I begin to prepare myself for the icy rain. What in the world? I pull my phone from my pocket. It's a random number, but I recognize the area code. Hello? Hello, may I speak to John, please? Speaking. And who is this? I'm calling from Northeast Medical Hospital. The hospital? And why are you calling me? You're listed as the emergency contact for Miss Sayori. Sayori? Is everything okay? Yes, she's awake. My grip loosens and my phone nearly slips out of my hand. Awake. Sayori's awake. My mind begins racing faster than the lightnings outside. This is incredible news. So incredible I forgot how to speak. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I see her? Of course, that was the whole purpose of this call. Okay, I'll be over there soon. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Goodbye. I hang up and jam my phone back into my pocket. Without another thought, I tie my shoes and dash out into the storm. I arrived to the hospital. Its cold hallways do nothing to warm me up from the freezing rain. I begin to walk the secretary desk. Halfway to it, the hospital doors fly open. A brown-haired man wearing a regular shirt and jeans comes barreling through. He has a weird expression. He gets past me to the secretary desk. She points the way to a doctor. He rushes to the doctor down the hall. The doctor with a sour face points to a room. The man finally rushes into the room. I'm at a loss. Alright then. I finish my trek to the secretary desk. May I help you? I'm looking for Sayori. She begins to scroll through her computer. Your name? John. Perfect. Miss Sayori's in room 309. She points behind me. Just take those elevators to the 3rd floor and follow the hallway. Thank you. I practically run from the desk to the elevators as if it were a race. 3rd floor. Why does every part of the hospital look the exact same? I silently damned the architect who designed this place. There's a line of doors before me. I walk past them before I take note of the numbers. 307, 308, 309. I lightly knock on the door. There's no response. My hand presses down on the handle. I gently open the door. I walk into the hospital room. Someone's even colder here than the hallway. My eyes pan through the blank walls. I spot Sayori laying on the bed. Sayori. John! Ah! I crossed the room in a flash and embraced Sayori. Oh my god, I was so worried. I'm so sorry, Sayori. John, is that really you? I could ask you the same thing. If I couldn't feel her soft skin in my hands, I wouldn't believe it was actually her. I step on my softs and collect myself. I stand over her bed. I'm so sorry, John. No, this is my fault. I just didn't want to be there for you, Sayori. I was so caught up in my own feelings, I never thought about you. I was selfish. Sayori just smiled sadly. You're silly, John. Huh? That was not the reaction I was expecting. I was the selfish one. I did the most selfish thing possible. I didn't think of anyone else in that moment. Her eyes are red from tears. I watch as they glide down her cheek and crash into the plain white sheets of the bed. I'm just glad you're awake. You're actually awake! I repeat myself just to confirm this is actually real. I was so scared. I really can't put into words how concerned I was. I'm sorry, I made you sad. I wave my hand dismissively, and note the apologies. Let's agree to just both be sorry. The corners of her mouth raise. Okay, so, how is everyone? Good. I nod reassuringly. Everyone's good. Natsuki's holding down the fort for you. That's nice of her. And you and Yuri? A pang of gold flashes over me. I still apologize to her. We're fine. I lie through my teeth. She has been through enough. I don't want her to worry her with my problems. I attempt to shift the topic. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm just really glad you're awake. I was losing sleep over you. Meanwhile, I was gaining sleep. The fact that Zero can still keep her aloof attitude I find somewhat admirable. No, she's okay does put my smile on my face. I just want things back to normal, Sayori. She stares out the window. Do you know what it's like being in a coma, John? No, can't say I do. It's kind of like you're sleeping. Time passes by differently when you're asleep. When I woke up, I was worried I was 50 years in the future and everyone would be all old and wrinkly. It was also scary. She stares at me with her sky blue eyes. There were times when I was aware of my surroundings. Aware? I could sense things, if that makes sense. It doesn't. Sometimes I could feel the nerves changing out my HV, or I could hear the doctor having conversation outside. One time, I heard the doctor discussing with my parents on the phone about something called the patient's right to die. Whether or not it's ethically okay to put me to sleep. My heart drops into my stomach. Just hearing those words causes my legs to grow weak. It's like I was watching the movie of my own death. And the scariest part was that I couldn't use my legs to run away. I didn't have a voice. I didn't have a voice I could use to call for help or talk to myself to keep myself company. It gets lonely. You see your fears come to life. I'm glad I'm not afraid of the dark. She gives a small giggle before returning to a serious tone. Or as serious as someone like Zero can sound. It's hard to escape your inner demons when you're encaged in your own mind. I'm so sorry you have to go through that, Sayori. I placed my hand on hers. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. I knew you could learn so much while being asleep. I'll make sure to tell my teachers that. We share a small laugh between us. That song gives me a nostalgic feel of our childhood. Back when Sarah and I would play around the block, climb trees, cause mischief. I refuse to believe that girl's gone. But as I look into her eyes, I see despair. Would it be better to go back and change what happened? Don't dwell on the past. She says that as if she read my mind. Like I said, I learned something while asleep. This experience showed me what I have become. The solution I took to try to stop the pain. And in it, I almost lost the most important thing of me. My eyes have been opened to something newer, something greater. What's the word for that? An epiphany. Is that the right word? Yuri would probably know. I don't know if I'll ever beat my depression. But I do know that I won't let it beat me. It'll be a lifelong battle. And I'm willing to stay by your side. Through it all. I think I'd like that. Sayori gives me a smile. And this time it's a genuine Sayori smile. A smile that fills this bland white room with hope, purity, and warmth. Everyone is going to be really happy to see you back. I'm sure. You know, for a second I was expecting both you and Monica to be here. Monica? Why would we be together? When I woke up, I actually spoke to her. She said you and her would visit me. So I think the anesthesia is still affecting your brain. How would Monica get a hold of me? She has your number. She what? Monica has my number. I gave it to her when you joined the club. It's only obvious if club president would be able to contact her members. My mind is having a hard time keeping up with its own thoughts. The pieces of the puzzle slowly start to take form. John, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. Sayori, where's Monica? I believe she said she'd be stopping by around... She looks at the clock on the wall. Oh, how convenient! She should be coming any second. I need to go to the bathroom. Do you mind? Not at all. I turn on my heel and power walk out of the room. I run down the corridor. I don't look where I'm going. Suddenly I find myself falling. Oof! My head starts to throb. The cold tiles press against my face. Ugh. Place my hands on the floor and push myself up. I collect my bearings and look to see who I ran into. Of course, as Sayori said, how convenient. Hiya, John! You know, you should really be more careful. Even for the hospital, it's best not to hurt yourself. Cut the banter, Monica. I know what you've been doing. I stick my finger in her face. This ends now. Why are you trying to fuck up my life? What do you mean, John? You think I'm dense? I figured out your little game. All those strange texts. They're from you. Well, it took you long enough to figure that out. What is wrong with you? She's mischaracterized. Don't blame her. Do you find enjoyment in ruining other people's lives? I could ask you the same thing. None of this would have happened if it weren't for her. Her? What are you talking about now? You and your little girlfriend. You think you can intrude my own life? On my life? We didn't intrude on anything. What? Did we ruin your perfect life? Yes. I'm stunned by her straightforward answer. You did. Everything was perfect. My family was loving. My grades were second to none. Everyone loved me. I had friends. I had a club I was proud of. The only thing missing was someone to share it with. And then you came along, and finally had someone to share my life with. But you didn't choose me. Monika's voice grows louder with every sentence. You didn't choose me. Why, John? You could have had something perfect, but instead you chose a broken girl. You shut your mouth right now! I stepped face to face with Monika. You can't do anything now. I tried to warn you. I tried showing you her true side, but you were too oblivious. Why? Why couldn't you have loved me instead? The hospital staff and even some patients have been silently witnessing our quarrel. My life could have been perfect. Why didn't you choose me? Maybe you're not as perfect as you think. Monika's shocked by my words. I recognize that look in her eyes. It's the same look Sayuri showed when she confessed about her depression. The same one Natsuki showed when she spoke of her father. It's even the same look Yuri had when she told me about her cutting. They all share the same look in their eyes. The look of fear of being lost in an unforgiving world. I didn't want any of this, Monika. I just wanted a normal life. But that's not what was given to me. Just like you, I had dreams of a perfect life. But this world isn't perfect. You have to learn that eventually. Monika looks heartbroken. Her words come out as a whisper. No. I worked so hard for this. I worked too hard to get what I wanted. But in the end, Monika gazes down at the hall to where room 309 is. I heard the ones I love. Love. What a stupid word. You need to accept the past, Monika. Everything you do has consequences. You have to live with them. But you can still change who you are. Why did I say that? Maybe still look in Monika's eyes. They all share the same look. Just like Yuri, Monika is a lost girl in a cruel world. I feel a little pity for her. We can forgive you. Monika shakes her head. You don't know what I've done. It'll be okay, Monika. I told everyone. You told everyone what? It was the only way to get her out of the picture. Monika's emerald eyes begin to turn red. And once again I find myself eye level with a crying girl. Told everyone what? I have connections with a lot of people in school. I send the message out to nearly the entire school student body. Monika, what was in those messages? She refuses to look at me. I told everyone about Yuri. About her cutting. For just a moment my heart stops beating. I stand there for a while in shock. The sound of nurses walking by, DKGs beeping, even the storm outside has been drowned by my own silence. I feel like I'm floating in a void. And as I stare into the abyss, it stares back. The same feeling when I was told I was in a coma. But this time I'm not crying. I've become numb to pain. That's not how it works, idiot. Time doesn't heal wounds on the heart. They just fill the scar tissue and the pain lessens. That's also not how it works. But the pain never truly leaves. Why, Monika? It was the only option I had left. The only way I knew to bring you to me. This is why Yuri wanted to drop out. Whenever she goes to school, everyone will know what she's been hiding. Everyone will see her as the girl who cuts herself for pleasure. My mind rises and my heart beats out of my chest. I can hear my own blood flowing rapidly throughout my body. My eyes begin to flutter to every single inch of these colorless halls. I whisper to myself, I need to find Yuri. Even after all this, you still can't let her go. I look up at Monika. Every cell of my body wants to beat her to the ground. Well, it's mischaracterized Monika. I ball my fist. All I need is for my nervous system to send the signal to send my right hand flying through the air. There we go. But I just stand still. Instead, I use my last reserve of energy to make a break to the hospital doors. I will talk about this at the end. My feet carry me as I trudged through the icy rain to Yuri's house. I throw myself against the front door and reach for the knob. Locked. I don't bother knocking. I climb to lift up the doormat and find the spare key. After numerous attempts with shaky hands, I finally stick the key in. Once I hear the bolt turn, I throw open the door. I pan my eyes frantically through the downstairs of Yuri's house. It's barren. I search everywhere, but there is no signs of Yuri. She had to have left some sort of trace. I begin opening all her drawers and cabinets. Upon opening one drawer, I find something that looks familiar. I take the cylindrical object and it makes a rattling sound as I lift it up. In my hands is a bottle of pills. A full bottle of pills. The pills that Yuri is supposed to take to suppress the urge to cut herself. I read the label. Each bottle contains exactly 60 pills. I rip open the cap and pour the pills onto the table. They scatter and I use my hands to push them into a pile. Sliding each pill one by one, I begin counting. 1, 2, 3, 9, 18, 25, 26, 49, 57, 58, 59. My next finger, I slide the last pill next to the others. 60. I stare blankly at the pile of medicine, unable to focus my thoughts. For a second, I begin to forget where I am. What the? And I'm interrupted by a single raindrop hitting the counter and making a small splash, followed by another one and another. I look up. To my surprise, a wet spot on the ceiling has appeared and is leaking. At first, I assume the rain, but then I remember I'm on the first floor. An imaginary blueprint of Yuri's house begins to form in my head. I'm in the kitchen directly above. If I'm in the kitchen, then directly above me should be Yuri's bathroom. Oh no. I rush upstairs at an ungodly speed. I crash through the bedroom doors. Immediately, my eyes begin to look around for any signs of Yuri. Alas, there's no one here, except beside the bed is an open box. My stomach churns as I slowly creep towards it. Yuri's knife collection, we never threw it out. As I walk up to it, I notice a single empty spot where a blade once laid. There's something else I notice. The sound of water. Not the melodic orchestra of raindrops on the roof. The running water of a faucet. Okay. I crane my neck towards the sound. It's coming from the bathroom. I reach out and tightly grip the handle. Locked. I've no intention of knocking. I step back and prepare myself. I run full speed at the door. My shoulder connects to the wood and I bounce back. Again. I plant my feet firmly. Another sprint to the door. Again I hit the door and bounce into the floor. My shoulder aches in pain. I get up and plant my feet again. Third time's a charm. I run full speed. I hurl my body against the wood. It gives, but it doesn't open. Once again, I'm on the floor. The door busted off its hinges. My body is crying in pain. I use my good arm to push myself up. After collecting myself, I replant my feet. Again. I summoned every bit of strength I have. My shoulder crashes into the door one last time. Breaks open. I lie on the floor, my energy sapped. I can no longer move my arm. I fear I've dislocated it. My arm is screaming in agony. Ugh. I try to move, but I'm in too much pain. Ugh! I also notice I'm wet. Sweat? No, not sweat, but water. The floor has become covered in water from the faucet. I try to collect myself as much as I can. With my good arm, I steady myself and look up. Yuri? What the hell? No. I try to shout this, but my voice barely comes out. No. No. No! I sprawl towards the tub. Yuri lays in the red-tinted water-filled tub. I enter the toilet and throw up. However, my stomach is empty and my abdomen just cramps and tightens. My vision begins to blur as tears fill my eyes. I watch as they crash and join the Scarlet River on the tile floor. To say I can't think properly is an understatement. I lift myself up. There's no pain as the adrenaline courses through my body. Good only for you. Yuri? Yuri. I grab her chin and tilt her face towards me. Yuri! I shine a Nile over her still body. Her fair skin has now turned pure white. Her purple hair now tinted red from the pool. I lift her arm out of the water. They show new lines, each growing perpendicular to the ones of the past. Her motionless face stares into nothingness. I just sit on the blood-stained floor and stare at her. Tears continue to flow down my face. The only thing I can do is stare into her lavender eyes. And for the first time, they fail to pierce back into mine.